Just Cheesy the Podcast, presented by Just Cheesy Productions.
Hi there, I'm your host, Fondue. This week's episode we're calling The Big O.
What? No.
That's right, cheeses from around the world that start with the letter O.
Oh, okay.
We're going to travel to Mexico, Canada, France, and the United States.
Nice.
We're going to talk about taking a bath in cheese.
What? Oh, no.
And of course, we're going to tell a very cheesy joke.
Yeah, we are.
Stay tuned for Season 2, Episode 13 of Just Cheesy, the podcast. So cheesy, in the last few weeks we've been talking about cheeses around the world.
Yeah.
And I found a few more that we didn't know.
Really?
And I figured let's give it a theme this time. And now we're going to talk about 4 different cheeses from around the world that start with the letter O.
Oh.
Our first cheese comes from Mexico.
Okay.
And I think it's pronounced Oaxaca.
Is that a W?
Well, it's Oaxaca.
Oh.
Oaxaca is a white, semi-hard cheese that originated in Mexico.
Okay.
It's similar to unaged Monterey Jack.
Ooh.
According to Isabel of IsabelEats.com, she says it's mellow and buttery,
Mellow.
similar to string cheese, with a creamy texture.
Okay.
And she says it's slightly salty.
Ooh.
It says here that it's made by kneading the curd in hot water and stretching it.
Yum.
Thin strips form,
Okay.
and they're cooled in salted water and cut like rope.
Oh.
And then the cheese is braided or wound into a knot, and I guess it looks like a ball of yarn.
Okay.
It's from the southern part of Mexico.
Okay.
The name Oaxaca comes from the state from which it is produced.
Oh.
It's made using the technique called pasta filata, which means in Italian spun paste. And we've heard that a few times already.
Yeah, we have.
That process was brought to Mexico by Dominican friars, and they settled in the state of Oaxaca. Isabel says it's used for making things like cheese quesadillas and chicken enchiladas, nachos.
Ooh.
And apparently, it's in a lot of cheese dips like queso fundido.
Really?
She says it could be substituted with mozzarella, Monterey Jack, or Munster.
Yum.
Our next cheese comes from Canada. We don't get a lot of opportunity to talk about Canadian cheese. I don't know about you, Cheesy, but it seems to me that in our virtual travels, we've learned a lot about how monks have transported cheese throughout the world.
Right.
And that's no different with this Canadian cheese called OKA.
Really?
OKA cheese was manufactured by Trappist monks located in Oka, Quebec.
Okay.
The cheese is named after the town of Oka.
Wow.
And according to the website fromageoka.ca, the story begins in 1893. Brother Alphonse Huyn, I'm so sorry,
No.
was a master cheesemaker in a French abbey. He settled in the Trappist monk community in Oka, Quebec.
Makes sense.
And according to the website, it says that between 2 Hail Marys, Brother Huyn created Oka cheese. And it went on to win Best New Product Award at Montreal's Salon Agri-Culturel.
Oh, boy.
Brother Huyn produced more than 50 wheels of cheese per month
Whoa.
for both the Trappists and the Montreal market.
Holy cow.
The cheese distinguished itself from Colby and cheddar thanks to its creamy taste and semi-firm texture.
Okay.
According to Wikipedia, it has a pungent aroma, a soft creamy flavor,
wow.
and it's described as nutty and fruity. It's made with cow's milk.
Nice.
It's covered with a copper orange hand-washed rind.
Yum.
Oka Regular is pasteurized cow's milk, ripened for 4 weeks.
Oh.
Classic is pasteurized and ripened for 2 months.
Ooh.
Providence is creamier and softer.
Yum.
And Light has a lower percentage of fat.
Ooh.
Our next cheese comes from France.
Ooh la la.
It's known as Olivet Cendre,
Sure
or
it
it's
is.
also called Cendre d'Olivet.
Oh, boy.
According to the website cheese.com, it's made in the town of Olivet on the Loire River in France.
Okay.
It's a soft white cheese. It's round, it's ash gray, and has a natural rind.
Ooh.
It's made with unpasteurized cow's milk,
Okay.
but it's cured for 3 months in wood ash from vines.
Nice.
According to this site, it says it's rather pungent and it has a spicy aroma.
Yum.
Cheese.com is a great resource for all the cheeses around the world.
Yeah, it is.
Cheese.com is not a sponsor,
Nope.
but if they were, their ad would go right here. The last of our O cheeses comes from Wisconsin.
Nice.
Ocooch Mountain Cheese. Stop it.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Ocooch Mountain Cheese comes from Hidden Springs Creamery.
Okay.
It's named for the Ocooch Mountains. They're known as the driftless region, meaning unglaciated, lacking glacial drift,
Okay.
or Paleozoic plateau.
Okay.
The cheese is an Alpine-style raw milk cheese, and according to hiddenspringscreamery.com, this cheese takes about 3 to 4 months to age. It's dense, nutty,
Yum.
slightly grainy, and has a natural rind which is washed during aging. And they say it's a bit of a sheep's milk salute to the great Gruyere.
Nice.
According to Brenda Jensen, she never intended to start making cheese.
Really?
But they bought a small herd of 50 dairy sheep, and she and her husband started making cheese.
Okay.
They wanted to make sure the animals on the land were treated well,
Nice.
and their products are carefully crafted the old-fashioned way.
Ooh.
And according to cheeseunderground.com, this cheese is almost out of stock. It's very popular. And they also make another type of cheese called driftless cheese, which is dipped in dark chocolate.
Oh, my.
So how would you like to take a bath in cheese?
What? Why?
It's time for my favorite segment.
This week in cheese.
According to atlasobscura.com, in an article by Oriana Pauli, there is a place where you can take a bath in Whey.
Why?
This is a small family-owned dairy in the Swiss Alps. So it takes a few hundred liters of milk, some rennet, and cultures. They're heated, and then they're transformed into the two products that we know as curds and whey.
Yeah.
The curds become cheese, but a lot of dairy owners all over the world don't really know what to do with that byproduct.
Oh.
The article goes on to say, and I quote, "If you had been afforded the opportunity a century or two ago, you would have likely been either physically unwell, wealthy, or both."
Oh, wow.
According to the article, between the 1500s and 1900s, spa tourism was all the rage in Switzerland.
Really?
The wealthy of the time would go to the Swiss Alps to seek out restorative cures.
Okay.
In a book called Connecting Territories, Exploring People and Nature, 1700 to 1850, they talk about Johann Heinrich Heim.
Okay.
In 1822, he took over a resort in Switzerland. Essentially, he was promoting what they call Gastschottenkur,
Oh, boy. Okay.
which is goat's whey cure.
Okay.
At the time, doctors were no longer describing whey as an inferior product of milk, but as juice of the herbs.
Ooh.
The people that went for the cure were directed to drink a lot of whey.
Really?
The people that were there for this treatment were told to drink about 5 to 7 glasses of whey every quarter hour
Oh, my.
and at least 9 to 12 glasses a day.
Oh, my gosh.
They were supposed to take walks in front of the inn and appreciate the good food of the region.
Sure.
The whey cure lasted anywhere from 2 to 3 weeks or 6 to 8 weeks in the cases of what they're saying is chronic illness.
Ooh.
This business seemed to really expand over the years.
Okay.
They combined mineral baths with milk cures and whey bathing.
Oh, my.
They extended the therapeutic offers with herb treatments and mud packs.
Okay.
And they also had something called the cowshed cure.
Okay.
Because the bath buildings were located near farmhouses, they were advised to stay for hours in cowshed rooms.
Cowshed.
The patient should, and I quote, inhale the animal breath and body vapor of the cattle.
Okay.
It says that the ammonia gases from urine were advertised as a balsam for infected lungs.
Ew.
Going back to the Atlas Obscura article, it says here there have been various benefits to whey protein, such as weight management, wound care, infant nutrition, and some anti-cancer effects.
Nice.
According to appenzell.ch, the cost for one person in a whey bath is $45.
Seems about right.
Apparently, it goes down the more people you have. It's only $100 for 3 people.
Wow. I think I'm ready for a joke, Fondue.
What did cottage cheese say when the fly got in its bowl?
No clue.
You're in my way.
Oh, no way.
W-H-E-Y. You're in my way. Get it?
I get it. It was pretty good.
Oh, yeah. It was a little bit cheesy. Thanks for listening to Just Cheesy the podcast.
Thank
We
you.
appreciate all the listeners from around the world.
Yep.
Join us next week as we keep moving throughout the world to learn about new cheeses.
Stay cheesy, everybody.